Hi, this is Brian Aldrich from 4th Street Software, and today we're going to take a look at solo play cards. I get asked a number of times every week about solitaire play with 4th Street football, and there are several different ways to play it, but I'm going to show this particular method today using the solo play cards and also the offensive play calling sheets that are free for download. This is an example of the solo play card. You've got the formation up at the top. Each of them are color-coded. The ace formation is in red and white. This is the play number that corresponds with the computer version of the game. Name of the play. And then across the top here we have different defensive formations. So the idea behind the solo play cards is that you call the offensive play, or have it called via the offensive play calling sheet, and the defense is already called via this card. So we have the offensive play numbers, basically the information from the offense on the far left-hand side in blue. The D20 roll dictates which players in the offensive matchup, their rating, and the ball carrier on that particular dice roll. Over on the other side, depending upon which defense is being used by the other team, we can see what happens, again, corresponding to the D20 roll. So, for example, if I rolled on this play, a split end slant pass, a D25, the right tackle would be matched up with his D rating. The intended receiver would be the split end, S1. The right tackle would be matched up against the left defensive end and his B rating. There would be no stacks and there would be no empty zone. And then we would go ahead and resolve the play. So let's just take an example here and assume that we're playing a couple of teams from 1977. We've got St. Louis versus Minnesota. St. Louis is at their own 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is have St. Louis be completely roboticized. So whereas I'm going to be calling the shots, the offensive shots for the Vikings. On the other hand, I am not going to play the defensive calls for either team. So we're going to just go ahead and have the offensive play calling sheet dictate what the play call is for St. Louis. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 D10, a red, a white, and a blue in this case. So we rolled a 282. It's 1st and 10. So St. Louis would be in their normal offense, which for them is a pro set. The range of 282 can be found in here, and we've got a fullback off tackle. So play number 5. So what I do is I go ahead and find play number 5 in the pro set formation, and we go ahead and roll the dice. So I have a D20, a D10, 2 D6, and a D12. So in this case, I rolled a D20 of 11. That means that my right guard and his A rating is going to be matched up against somebody against the Vikings. The Vikes are going to run a 4-3 defense here. These are the two teams. As you can see, we've got the Vikings on the top on defense, St. Louis on the bottom on offense. I know this is a little small and blurry at the moment, but this is how these are how the team sheets look when you purchase them. Let's go back to the solo play card here and we'll figure out what happens. So in this case, I have a D11. So we've got our right guard, and Minnesota is in a 4-3. So 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and then 4 D-backs back here. So we're going to use this section of the card, and against an 11, that's the left defensive tackle. Now, the left defensive tackle for Minnesota is Doug Sutherland. The right guard for St. Louis is Conrad Dobler. All right, so now what we have to do is dictate which of those two gentlemen won the matchup, right guard, left defensive tackle. We take a look first of all at the offensive player, who is Dobler, and his A rating is a 9. Sutherland's A rating is a 4. So we subtract the 2, 9 take away 4 is 5. Anything 5 or less is going to be a win for the offense. Anything else is a win for the defense. So, as my D10 roll of 8 indicates, the defensive player won this matchup. We take a look at cross on Sutherland's card across from the 3. And on Doug Sutherland, that's a 54, which is a tackle for no gain plus a fumble. The ball carrier has fumbled the ball, and we could go through the rest of that, but right now I just want to show you how this all plays out. Now you may wonder what the D12 has to do with anything. Way over here, had there been a D12 roll of 1 to 3, there would have been a stack in this case. So Sutherland would have been helped out by the strong safety. Had the D12 been a 12, there would have been no defensive player in the zone, and so Dobler would have automatically won the matchup, even though we had a very high D10 roll in that case. All right, let's take a look at another one here. This time we're going to have St. Louis shift over to a 2 tight end offense. And if I use St. Louis's platoon sheet, here's the short yardage, so the 2 tight end offense, which is what they would use in this situation. And we rolled an 8-2-2. So I go down here and find the range. 8-2-2 is a tight end number 2 slant. So T2 slant. We go ahead and find the T2 slant card with the 2 tight end formation. Here's the 2 tight end formation. Here's the T2 slant card. Play number 119. And that's also indicated on the solo play card here, 119. And now we roll the dice again. So this time I have a D28, a D10 roll of 2, combined total of 3 again for the D6, and a roll of 2 for the D12. We take a look first of all at the D20, find 8, here it is. This time we have a quarterback with his D rating. The second tight end is our intended receiver. Assuming the defense is still on a 4-3, he's matched up with a strong safety and his D rating. We did roll a 2, which means there's a stack, with the strong safety and the free safety having their ratings added in this case, their D ratings. And so now we go ahead and run through this. Notice the D10 is pretty low this time. We got a 2. Last time we had an 8. And so what I'll do is take a look at, first of all, the offensive rating. But I need to find out who that player is. So in the 2 tight end formation, T2 is, and that's Jackie Smith. Jackie Smith isn't on the starting card here, the starting sheet for St. Louis. So J.V. Kane is the starting tight end. So what we have to do instead is look at the backups. And Jackie Smith is found here, and his D rating is a 5. All right, now we switch over to the defense, and I have my starting strong safety, and as Jeff Wright, Paul Krause is the free safety. And what I'm going to do is add their 2 D ratings together because of the stack. So we have a 3 and a 3. So we take the offensive rating of 5 and subtract the defensive rating, which is now a 6, we get a negative value, which means that the defense would have won in any situation. We're going to use Wright's card to find out the play result. As I recall, the roll was a 3, which means we have a 26. That's an incomplete pass plus an injury. And essentially, that is how you can use the solo play cards in tandem with offensive play calling sheets.